Over the international break, Neil, I mean, you've said you've been kind of looking at players and looking to the future a little bit and things like that. I mean, has that involved contract stuff as well? You know, obviously Ashley Britt out of contract, Marcus as loan, all those kind of things. Have you had any chance?
No, not really. No, not really,
forward?
Scott. No, they've all been put at the back burner, really. Just looking at new players, really. You know,
Right.
looking at possibilities, etc. And obviously, at the moment, again, Scotty, everybody's struggling again to go abroad to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's back that, you know, you don't realise how bad France and Italy and Germany is really at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you know, I guess you're almost going to have two plans, if you like, for the summer, really, aren't you? One for if you are able to do business as normal, but I guess another where if it's more domestic and that kind of thing.
Well, I'd like to think, say we've got 2 or 3 targets, I'd like to think we can get one in, even if it's not our main target. I'd like to think we've got one in straight away so we know we've got somebody in. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So, because like you say, not knowing the way the world is, you know, the last thing you want to be doing is getting towards July, end of July, start of August, and kind of scrambling around.
Correct. That's what I don't want.
And just when you know, it's interesting that you say, you know, let's have a go now. I mean, you know, I get the sense that these next 3 games, you know, clearly if things don't go to plan in them, then it is a case of, well, you can use the remainder of the season to have a little look at younger players and shuffle things around. And, you know, these next 3 against the 3 teams that are up there are, you know, going to decide which way it goes.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I would have loved to have had the full strength team out against these. If I'm honest, Scott, I'd love to see to compare what we have with these 3 teams. But we have got what we've got, so I've got to try and make as good a game as we can. We've got to try and play to our strengths and find a system to try and give all these 3 teams good games, you know.
Yeah, because do you almost, like, you know, I mean, you know what your side is very good at, or has been very good at throughout the season, and you kind of know where the weaknesses have been and where things have fallen down. I think we all know that. But I guess, you know, because you've had to look at the way that your side had defend, it's been difficult for you to say, right, okay, just play with the shackles off. Just, you know, let's throw extra men up front. Let's do that, because you've always had to be mindful of the back. So I guess that's a different challenge for them almost, isn't it?
It is now, because, you know, the back line's been decimated as well. So I think we've just got to look at what we've got left in the squad, really. And try and give a game, and you know, I don't want to just go out on a damp squib and you know, like a Millwall defeat.
Yeah.
I'd rather go out and attack and you know, try and create chances and things, and try and find a system to do that. Really, yes, it means we're going to be a bit open at the back, but hey ho.
Yeah, and just a last one, on Jonathan. I mean, managers abroad, it's always kind of been the case that if they have a few, you know, in inverted commas, failures at the start of the career, it doesn't really matter. It's generally seen as, well, that's part of the learning experience. Whereas I think sometimes in this country with young managers, we get so excited about the fact that they've failed in one job and that's them written off for the rest of their career. Whereas, you know, it doesn't really seem to be like that in other footballing countries. What's your, you know, do you almost have to fail a little bit to then be able to succeed?
I just think because the modern owner now, you know. I've been fortunate in the fact that when I first started, you could say I'm going to build a club for 3 or 4 years, but now it's instant success, and everybody wants instant success. So it's far more difficult, especially for a younger manager now. But they come in fashion. Younger managers come in fashion for 2 or 3 years, and then, well, what we're doing with that lot, we get the experienced lads back in, then they come into fashion, and it goes swinging roundabouts, isn't it, really? So. But he'll have learnt an awful lot at Middlesbrough, and he'll be enjoying working. You know, that the better the quality players you've got, the more you enjoy it, and he's got a good group down there.
Great stuff. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Scott. Joe, last one. Come on. I say, oh no, we got some.
You got Dom as well.
Right. Joe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hi, Neil. You okay?
Yes, mate.
You've mentioned injuries. Marcus Tavernier went off. Was his hamstring at Millwall? How is he?
Yeah, he's struggling, and so is obviously Dick Steele's out, and we've got a couple more knocks as well. But we'll have to see. Today, we're training in, we're meeting in about half an hour, so we'll see more.
And just looking ahead to these games, obviously you've had a long time to prepare for Bournemouth. Have yours been keeping an eye on Watford as well? Just kind of looking at.
Well, we look at all of them really. All we concentrate on, Joe, really is what we've got and how we can, what injuries we've got and how we can cater for that, to try and give these teams a good game, really. Because I think they've the next two teams have got the best squad and Barnsley have got the best form. So you're not going to get more difficult than this.
So is it a case of looking at what you can do rather than, obviously you will analyse the opposition, but how much is it looking at what their strengths are and how you can hurt them as well?
Oh, crikey, yeah. I mean, if you saw the Swansea game, they watched parts of that, they looked like Real Madrid. So it's how it is. On the day, we've got to try and come up with a system or a plan to hurt them when we can and defend well.
Just final one on Jonathan. Obviously, when he left the club, was there ever a chance of him staying, or was there a conversation about him staying at the club?
Who was that, Joe?
About Jonathan. When you took charge, was there ever?
Oh, sorry. No, I did have a chat with him, but 6 months before. Just before they went on a really good run. I think they won about 4 or 5 on the trot, and So, but it's no. I think he'll be really enjoying it down there. Listen, I know he's under pressure, but every job's under pressure. But I think it helps you when you get away from your home club. I think there's less pressure on it. You can be more of yourself, and he'll have learned. You'll learn all the time as a manager, and he's a good lad. So I hope he does well, mate.
Spot on. Cheers, Neil. Good luck tomorrow.
Dom.
Hi Neil, how are you doing?
Hi, mate.
Where did you end up on the bike yesterday then, covering 40k?
Oh, don't ask me. I got it wrong. I had to get my bloody Google out at about 10 times. I started out going towards Scorton.
Right.
And went down that way and round, ended up going round Great Smeaton and Hornby and somewhere else. Oh. I was 3 miles off Northallerton at one stage. And I only went to do 17 kilometres.
My neck of the woods, that, Neil. I live between Great Smeaton and Northallerton that way, so you could next time pop in for a cup of tea.
Some at Isk or something, is it?
Appleton Whisk, that's where I live.
What do you call it?
Appleton Whisk.
Yeah, bloody hell, it's quite a nice village there, but I'm
surprised you were allowed. I'm surprised you got in and out.
I had a coffee there looking at the daffodils. I thought, what the bloody hell are you doing here now, lost? Anyhow, we're diversing again. Come on.
Yeah, Neil, when you talk about sifting through players and targets, what does that entail then, and who's involved in that?
No, the lads, obviously the recruitment people, they look at dozens and dozens and dozens, and they let you have a look at what they think's available, and you try and look at, can we afford them? Some of them are, 10 million quid, you can't, forget them. So it's just a matter of getting through the best. And if we could get English, I would get English. And I'm not, so I'm hoping that we can get 1 or 2 in, and then, we're not urgent then. I'd like to think we could get 1 or 2 in, possibly a Bosman or 2. Are you with me? And then look to see what's available. But they're not that many. You'd be surprised. There's not that many. Everybody wants target men, don't they?
You've talked a lot about the strikers. In terms of the other positions you might look to strengthen, is it difficult, the wide areas, for example, is it difficult to know what you might want until you know what might happen with the likes of Yannick and Neeskens and Nathaniel?
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, you've got to look. So we have options, we're looking at left side, right side, 1 or 2 lads have been mentioned in the press. So we're looking all the time. You've got to do. That's I think... the only thing is, I'm not looking to replace people that we might sell, because we won't sell them. So I'm not looking to replace.
That's Burnley told.
They can buy him next summer, but they'll not buy him this summer.
and Neil, just ask you about Britt. Obviously, he wasn't included. He wasn't involved at Millwall. Will he? Is he still part of your plans for the rest of the season?
Well, it's difficult because I think everybody knows that he's been my captain as well. So I'm not going to mess him about. It's not his fault that his contract's up and he's on a good contract. I've had no problem with him, but I'm not going to just take him for the sake of taking him to put him on the team sheet. We've got 2 or 3 other strikers on the team sheet, so I've got to respect him as well, and I'm not going to just use him like that. So if there are other lads are fit, it's very difficult to see him being involved.
Is there now an acceptance then on both sides that he's likely to go elsewhere in the summer?
Oh yes, I think that's been common knowledge for a few months, really, from both parties.
Teesside!
Be bold. Be immersed. Be transformed. Be Teesside.
Turns well, Juninho is ahead of him. Here's Juninho, looking for something special for the Brazilian. He's come up with a goal. It's his first since his return, and it's the breakthrough for Middlesbrough. Quickly taken throw, it's Johnson, it's Viduka! Still Viduka! Oh, brilliantly taken in the end! It was a terrific strike into the corner, and it's game, set and match to Middlesbrough, surely. Coming forward again, it's played in, there's a real chance for another one, and it's 4-1 to Borough. Rockenbach applying the final touch. Strong-looking Tottenham side. Short corner, she's driven it in! Watford have the lead. Cathcart, I think, who got the final touch on it with a flying header. Well, they forced a few corners in the early moments of the game, and he came in and smashed it. Tussle is won by Fletcher. Tavernier helping it on its way. It was a shame it was just behind George Saville. Kept alive though and fed back into Fletcher. Gets through the Wilmot challenge and drives wide. Took a little deflection on its way from Ashley Fletcher. He hit it pretty well with his left foot. Sombalonga battling for it. Cathcart's attempted clearances ricocheted nicely into Sombalonga. Saved by Ben Foster's legs in the Watford goal.
Good persistence by Sombolonga as it's played into him here. Kabasele trying to get across. And Gakia. Low ball in, João Pedro hit it and it was deflected. Half a chance this. Rolled in by Ngakia. Easy clearance for Nathaniel Chalobah. Chased enthusiastically by João Pedro. He's giving Dijksteel something to think about. João Pedro here. Dutch defender did well for Barrett. Fletcher. He's beaten Wilmot. Fletcher now. Sombolonga wants the pull back and Fletcher went for goal. Britta Sombolonga not too happy about that. He could have rolled it to his left-hand side. Tried to hit it early, I think, and catch Foster out. Probably thought that having beaten Wilmot, he'd earned the right to have a go. Bouncing up onto the chest of a Sombolonga who brought it down well, got the shot away. That's really good play by Britta Sombolonga. Just sparking a bit of life into Middlesbrough just by his speed of thought. Good turn, very direct. Spence. It's been better for Middlesbrough in terms of possession in the second half without really troubling Ben Foster in the Watford goal. Bettinelli here for Middlesbrough. Only joined the squad yesterday. Free kick is given against Chalobah. It's a Sombolonga and it's tipped over by Foster. Fairly routine save in all honesty for Ben Foster. Decent effort though. I think it would have curled in if the goalkeeper hadn't been there, but Foster would have been exceptionally disappointed not to save that. Tavernier is going to take this corner kick. Coming away from Foster's goal off his left foot, hoping to find one of those four red-shirted Middlesbrough players. In it comes up, go the heads, and it's put over the bar by Hall. That is a really good chance. Really, really good chance for Middlesbrough to equalise, and Grant Hall has skied it over the bar. Well, sometimes the game comes down to set pieces. Watford scored from a left-wing corner in the first half. Marvin Johnson's forward, Howson on the edge of the area in space. It's curled into the near post and it's a goal kick. It's a Sombolonga over the crossbar. It is half a chance for Middlesbrough, maybe more than that. Well, he's been waiting for a real sight of goal. Instructions have jumped together to the Middlesbrough wall coming from Marcus Bettinelli in the goal. As Navarro addresses it, hits it into that wall, hits the rebound into the wall as well, and Lewis Wing smashes the ball downfield, but Keith Stroud blows his whistle, and Vladimir Ivic, the new coach of Watford, is off and running with a deserved victory as the championship season gets underway.